It's Dave Lawrence, the Workforce Afternoon, and this past Monday was Jimi Hendrix's birthday, beginning a week-long celebration that's taken us to now, and our very special guest to help us wrap up this week in a genuine sort of way. He was a guest over 4 years ago as part of our first Jimi Hendrix Day, and is back to share his incredible life with us again. He's on the new CD we've given away all week, The Band of Gypsies Return, and as a legendary bassist and vocalist, I'm proud to welcome back to my show a veteran of the 101st Airborne, Band of Gypsies, and the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Billy Cox. Aloha, Billy.
Aloha, Dave.
A pleasure having you back on, man. Thank you.
Yeah, good to be here.
It's good to have you
on the show.
What inspired you to create this project with Buddy Miles after all these years, the Band of Gypsies Return?
Well, what it was, we were long overdue to do this project anyway, because a lot of people had asked us, no matter where we went, are you guys going to do another one? Are you going to follow up on this? And the right place, and the right circumstances allowed us to do that. And we were blessed to have great players and excellent creative musicians on this CD who contributed their talents: Andy Alador, Kenny Olson, Eric Gale, Sheldon Reynolds. And it's a compilation. It's really a spirit more than anything, and a reminder of a good, solid musicianship. Artists who are skilled in their craft and enjoy musically interacting with each other and the audience. And the Band of Gypsies Return is about music and its expression through the individual musician.
And one of the things that's fascinating, Billy, is the way you express some of the songs so differently. There's a great thing on here where fans can take a listen to a version of Power of Soul that you guys did in a recording studio versus a recording of Power of Soul that you did live at the Experience Music Projects. They're so different. It's amazing.
You know, when I must say that I was probably the only person who played in all three of Jimmy's band. I played with the Gypsy Sun and Rainbows of Woodstock. I played with the Band of Gypsies with him, myself, and Buddy Miles. And then after that, I played with Jimmy in the Experience.
Yep.
And a lot of times we would have different versions of different songs. Every song we did, we had another version of it, believe it or not.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, there was a lot of Jimmy would really revamp some of his songs and make things quite different. And it would be the same song, but through a series of takes, it would evolve. And I just think it's a great thing. As you were talking, I was thinking, wow, you really did express. You kind of wrap around the songs in such a different way. And I guess that was one that I connected with. We've been playing Stone Free a lot, the one recorded at the Experience Music Project, with you on the vocals.
Yeah.
Slamming too, bro. Was it a conscious effort on your part and on Buddy Miles' part not to have just one guitarist featured on the disc?
We didn't want to have one guitar player because then that's really kind of not respecting the guitar player. I mean, you know, Jimi Hendrix was a symphony within himself. He played and he had such a genre of music. It's like a sponge. You hear jazz, you hear pop, you hear rock, you hear country, you hear blues, you hear the whole element of blues, and he was within himself a symphony. And it would be disrespectful to take one player and say, okay, we'll play this stuff, and then he has that all launched on his shoulders.
Right.
So we felt it was best to include other players at some stuff. We went in the studio, it's current. Other things are not current, as old as a couple years. But we picked out the best ones that we thought would be representative enough to be on this album, and we came up with some very, very good songs.
Yeah, you guys picked out some hot stuff, that is for sure. Billy, let me play the live Stone Free that we've been having on the air recently, and then we'll talk some more. Is that cool?
Very good.
Billy Cox, legendary Jimi Hendrix bassist, is my guest, and here he is with Buddy Miles on the Band of Gypsies Return on KPOI 105.9, the Big Kahuna, Stone Free. Stone Free, Billy Cox and Buddy Miles, the Band of Gypsies Return on KPOI 105.9, the Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock. The legendary Billy Cox is my guest, bassist from the Band of Gypsies and Jimi Hendrix Experience. And Billy, there's another recent release, in addition to your own Band of Gypsies Return, that you're on, and I've been really digging it. It's Jimmy's final concert from September 1970. Is it Fairmont?
Vermont.
Say it yourself.
Isla Fermon.
Fermon. Isla Fermon.
That's what some people call it. Some people.
I like hearing you say it. It sounds cool. Do you know what the one I'm talking about?
Right. That was a good one too.
Despite the audience's hostility, which is apparent on the beginning of that thing and in the notes that John McDermott has provided, did Jimmy enjoy, to your recollection of that gig, and I'm sure you probably have a pretty good one, did he enjoy playing that gig?
Well, because of the hostility at first, he didn't. But I think he loved challenges. And he knew that by the time we got on stage and by the time we said what we had to say and do musically, that would cease. And he accomplished his goal.
Oh, he slammed them down, too.
Slam dunked them. They said, wow.
And I love his remark. The opening words on that disc, considering that that's like the last show of his life, and what he says to the crowd to shut them up is just so raw. Yeah. And so you just want to high five him. You're like, man, talk about going out with a bang.
He did. He went out with a bang.
He did. For that to be the way he speaks to the crowd and responds to their hostility on what ends up being his final concert ever recorded. It gives you chills because you have so much more respect for the man that's the way he ends up getting portrayed. He just stands up and he's just like, if you're gonna boo, what he said, it's just
boo and doom.
Yeah. and drops the F word in there too, as I recall.
Well, not only was he an incredible musician, he was an incredible person.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason I guess I asked you if he enjoyed playing there was this. It's like when you listen to that recording, and granted it is a bootleg, so it doesn't have the fidelity of a official recording, but his vocals are like blood curdling on many of the tracks. There's so much soul and emotion. So that's why I was and that recently came out. So knowing I was going to talk to you, I kept thinking to myself, man, when I listen to his vocals, there's so much soul, passion, and energy on these tracks, despite the audience in the beginning. I just got to think that Jimmy he owned it.
He did.
It was just, that's a hot show.
Very, very hot.
You're the king, Brother Billy. Well, you've got to know that you have a huge red carpet welcome going on out here. Anytime you want to come out and visit us on Oahu, I would love to have you on my show. I'd get it catered. I'd get a whole bunch of gifts for you. I'd make it an experience you would not forget.
Hey, let's come and play. We like to play there.
I would love to have you guys play, and that would be a real return. You were here with him in '70.
Yeah, we were.
And
played on the volcano, and then on the Big Island.
Haleakala.
Yeah.
You have any specific memories of that trip?
Oh yes. On the side of the volcano in Maui, I noticed that it was kind of weird because no one told me. I said, "This is strange how that audience out there is kind of." He said, "Oh, Billy, everyone's sitting in astrological order." I said, "Whoa! And what a vibe!" They had the Libras here and the Sagittarius here, and et cetera, et cetera.
And did it create a unique way?
The vibe was unique. It was incredible, and it wasn't my imagination. I knew there was something that was abnormal. And so I asked, I said, "What's the deal? What's this all about?" They said, "Oh, everyone's sitting out there in astrological order." I said, "Oh, okay, there it is."
That's out of control, man. Your versions of some of those tunes on there, that In From the Storm over there, forget about it.
We let it go. We just let it all hang out.
That thing was out of control.
Mitch played his butt off. Jimmy played his butt off. We just had fun.
Someday I wonder if Experience Hendrix will release that whole thing.
Hey, they probably will. There's enough. Eddie Kramer, who was our engineer, I understand from him that there's enough footage to let out some albums 3 or 4 a year to the year 2015.
That's what I've heard that too. The vaults are stacked with stuff.
Stacked. And see what we did, and the reason they are stacked, Jimmy and I and Mitch, we didn't play golf, we didn't bowl, we didn't hang out. Music was our life and our love. So we spent all our time in the studio creating.
Yep.
And therefore, there evolved hundreds of hours of music. And that's where we get all those reels. All those reels come from.
And that's the explanation for why there's such a disproportionate amount.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, he was so focused because there is a lot of him on tape.
A lot of it.
Considering the amount of years. Yeah, it's a good
point.
So
we can sit back and we're going to listen to some good music for a long time till we got gray hairs coming down our back.
You're the man, Billy. You are the man.
I always wanted to be a DJ, but I never did quite get into it.
I love it. Well, big hugs to you, and I mean it. If you get a chance to, we will work on something with Brother John to see if we can't get you guys out here.
All right, let's do that.
And it has been a great pleasure, an honor having you back on the show, Billy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to be here, Dave. And as years go by, I become more proud of the music that I was involved with.
Man, and you're keeping it alive with a great record like this one, too. So hats off to doing the Band of Gypsys return.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
All right, Dave. All right, God bless you and have a good day.
You too. Aloha.
Bye-bye. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is Billy Cox from the Band of Gypsys and the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And you are in good hands with Dave Lawrence.